You know, every single night, your brain turns into a master storyteller. It builds these incredible worlds. Sometimes they're amazing, sometimes they're just bizarre, and sometimes they're downright terrifying. But you know the wildest part? We still don't have a solid answer for why.
It's this incredible mystery that every single one of us takes part in. It's a totally universal human experience, but it's still one of the biggest unsolved cases in all of science.
And that's really the heart of it. It's not like we haven't been trying. I mean, for centuries you've had thinkers, philosophers, and scientists all trying to crack this code. But even with all our modern technology, there's still no single explanation for our nightly adventures that everyone agrees on.
So to really get a handle on where we are today, we've got to go back to the beginning. Let's start with the giants who first tried to map out this strange landscape of our dreams.
So, you've got the two original heavyweights of dream theory. On one side, there's Sigmund Freud. He was convinced that dreams were basically a secret backdoor into our own personal subconscious. So that dream you have about your teeth falling out, Freud would probably say that's some hidden personal anxiety about losing control that's bubbling up to the surface. But then you have his student, Carl Jung, who thought on a much bigger scale. He believed our dreams tap into what he called a collective unconscious, which is full of universal symbols that all humans share. So a dream about a wise old man, for instance, might be your mind connecting with this sage archetype that exists in all of us.
Now, those classic theories were absolute game changers for sure. But today's neuroscientists, they're looking for answers not just in symbols and meanings, but in the actual biological nuts and bolts of the brain itself. So let's jump into the modern evidence.
So with all our fancy new technology, what does today's science say? I mean, we've got tools like fMRIs and EEGs that can literally watch the brain as it's dreaming. We can see all the electrical storms and chemical reactions happening in real time, and that's led to some really compelling, though still competing, new ideas.
Yeah, today's theories are much more focused on function. One of the biggest ideas is that dreaming is like housekeeping for your brain. It sorts through your memories from the day, strengthens the important ones, and throws out the junk. Another theory is that it's all about emotional regulation. Dreaming about something stressful might be your brain's way of running a simulation to take the emotional sting out of it for the next day. And finally, there's the idea that dreams are just your brain's attempt to make a coherent story out of random nerve signals firing off during sleep. It's not about hidden meaning, it's just mechanics.
And this leads to a really fascinating kind of primal idea. The threat simulation theory basically says that dreaming gave our ancestors a real survival advantage. Think about it. It's like a built-in virtual reality simulator where you can safely practice running from a predator or figuring your way out of a dangerous spot. It suggests that all those anxiety dreams we have might actually just be our brain's ancient defense system, staying in shape.
So we have the classic ideas from Freud, and we have all this modern evidence from neuroscience. But after all that, dreaming is still an unsolved case. So why? Why is it so incredibly hard to pin down a final answer?
Well, it really comes down to three huge hurdles. First, the sheer complexity. A dream isn't just happening in one little spot. It's a brain-wide symphony with your memory, emotion, and imagination centers all firing at once. Second, just the challenge of observing it. I mean, how do you study something so delicate without waking the person up and completely shattering the evidence? And finally, our own reporting is just, it's terrible. Our memories of dreams are like smoke. They're fleeting, they're super subjective, and they often just disappear the second we try to grab onto them.
And that brings us to this quote, which I think really just sums it all up perfectly. Maybe we've been looking for a single, neat answer when there just isn't one. It's possible dreams are master multitaskers. They're processing our memories, regulating our emotions, and simulating threats, all at the same time. Or maybe their true purpose is something we haven't even begun to discover yet.
So the mystery continues every single time you close your eyes. Tonight, when you go to sleep, you're not just resting. You're an explorer, heading into one of the last great frontiers of human consciousness. The only question is, what story will your brain tell?